Alright guys, today we're here at Cuevas Classic and we're gonna be dropping some birds off and visiting him.
This here is number 3. And relax for a little bit, and after they're ready, trap train this morning, and then whenever we start getting bigger teams, then we do something else. So this one here just have vitamins, electrolytes, just to help them, because this is the birds that arrived today. Like for example, yours, electrolytes on them, and they're about to get fed as well again.
Really?
It is fed.
Okay. Yeah, because I know maybe they might put like...
So you don't eat it?
No.
Why not? You should eat whatever you can eat, man. Come on.
I'll eat one with you.
It is a pellet.
It's kind of like cereal.
See?
Nice.
But man, I don't know, you can smell it.
Ooh, they smell good.
But I love the racing.
Yeah.
Hard on race day because you want the birds.
Yeah.
But after it's done, sitting out here and just watching like what happened is like, oh, that's amazing. That's a feeling. All the work that you put in the whole year is like payoff. Especially myself. My daughters, especially the oldest one, she loves pigeons. So watching her going training with me when she can, getting up, loading the birds, it's like, what else can you ask for the most? And that's why I'm so grateful with the people that supports me every year, and that's why they're always gonna get 100% of me, because that's the way I get to spend the time with my kid.
So I have 3 birds that I selected for this race, but I want you to check out the other birds. In one of your videos, you said that the bigger birds do better now at this different course.
Nice birds. Strong back. Both vents. They're nice. Yeah. At the end of the day, when you're looking for birds, especially when you go to different places to look at birds, only we're looking for things that we like for a bird to have.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's what the actually family does and how well you know your family.
Yeah.
There's some families that got some type of weakness, like they're weak.
Yeah.
They're weak. And that doesn't mean they're bad birds. You just know your family.
Yeah.
The faster you learn your family, you start picking the good, because it might be a perfect bird, but it might not be flying as well. But you got another family that might, in Eric, it has faulty back, or the tail goes up.
Yeah.
Still great birds,
Yeah, I know.
At the end of the day, what I'm looking for is, the basket will pick the birds.
The basket?
Yes, because I will tell you, especially if you do a club fly, that will tell you.
Yeah. So the cousins to those birds, they've flown at Texas Dash for Cash, and one of them placed 5th champion bird, so I think they will be able to do this course too. Yeah,
and the thing is, when you start finding out that your birds are capable to doing one race or one course, that's where you actually want to load up.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, we're trying to send everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
And it might be you wasting a bird in a different course, different race, different hands, when you might have a better chance with the same handler.
Yeah.
And that's anybody. That's why I tell people, I say, look, pick a race where you birds do well, and it's okay, send more. Instead of you trying to, it's awesome if you have the birds that win everywhere, but it's hard.
It's hard.
As soon as you start getting getting the birds for that course or for that specific race, you just go more and more and more, and eventually, you're gonna realize that you have the birds.
Yeah, so
Let me give you an example. Last year, Dash for Cash, my girl entered 3 girls, and my 2 little girls entered 3 birds. One of them died right away. I had 2 die the whole season, but it's okay. You usually replace. That's it. I don't have that many birds, as you can tell. I don't have that many breeders. So we had 2. One of them, was it 84, 83? I don't remember the number. Out of those 5 races, 4 times was on the drop.
4 times.
Yes. But then what I'm trying to say is the mother to that bird was 7th place champion bird the first year.
At the same race?
At the same race.
Yeah.
So, now that's what I told her. It was what, 750 activation. So I told my daughter, I said, look, we cannot send many, but we need to make sure that we send the best.
Okay.
She wanted to send colors. She loved colors. Red, blacks, white. I said, these are the families that can do well there. We have to kind of see if we have a chance and which birds do we have a chance with. You don't want to, just throw your money away.
Yeah.
We don't have the money just to be putting 100 birds in one race, and So we have to be very careful. How do we select the birds to send and which birds to send? So of course you got to pick one of them that had white, a little bit of white on the flights, ended up being the winner. And that's what I'm trying to say. Black gold as well, I've been doing well there for several years, and that's why I keep loading up more and more, because as soon as you start finding the right birds, you're getting stronger and stronger. Another perfect example, people in my race, when I was flying the older course, I flew that course for 6-7 years. So people start learning which birds to send to my race, and you can see that they were getting better and better every year, because they started developing a family that flies that course.
Okay.
So that's I always like to ask the breeders, because they probably have more knowledge than me on breeding, or what to do, and that's how I start picking up everything as well. Because like I said, I breed birds, but it's not like my main thing. I keep a small team always. So always, the more that the more you ask, the more you're going to find out, and the more you're going to know. And have more, what they say, knowledge is power, right? So by you asking, you will know. Yeah. And you will find a way faster. Everybody's trying to get there. It's just who's going to find the way to get there faster, right? So
I agree. That's why. So I just started like 3 years ago in Loft racing. So I'm just testing back at the places that the family has done good already, to really see if my bird can produce those kind of birds. And then I'm just testing around, see where they're stronger at. So this year I'm aiming for Texas now. That's my main focus, and I'm sending some back to Florida.
Florida. How you doing, Florida?
Recently, one of their half siblings just scored 54th on the finals.
Florida Pigeon Derby?
Yeah.
Okay.
The final.
That's everybody wants to trying to figure it out, that race.
Yeah, that was.
We were needing a race that big. We always,
we do.
We needed that to put us even more on the map, because, like I said, everybody in other countries always said, "Oh, you don't have a bigger races. You have only 3,000-4,000. You don't have 6, 7." Well, now guess what? Now we do. So what that means now, we're getting stronger. As I always say, I want to grow this race not only for Cuevas Classic, but I want to grow I would like to grow as a country, because the competition is big. It's big here. It's bigger, and it could get bigger, but we all have to grow as a country. We have to, because we're moving the right direction. We're getting the right birds here. It's just a matter of if we're going to develop or not. You can have the best birds, but if you don't do the right home, or you don't develop the family right, you're not going to be able to do nothing. Meaning, we don't develop the sport right, we're never going to grow as a country. But I think we for a lot of people that has put the country up, like on the big races, that helps a lot too. Yeah, and they bringing birds back and sell them to us. It's a lot of help.
Yeah. For your race, are you thinking about doing auctions one day, or you're just gonna keep it the same and people
auction
get the birds
birds
back? Yeah.
Okay, so here's why I'm against that. When I was flying club, and when I was more like a breeder instead of having my race, I was always against that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. My main reason, one of the reasons, or probably my main reason, is you get a little bit of money, right? Now you have to spend that money to buy back.
Yeah.
That's one. The other one is like, this bird might not mean a lot to me, but it means the world to you, because it's another key to open another door on your family.
Yeah.
Or your family of pigeons.
I also think that too.
So that's why trying to stay away from all the races, the auction.
For me,
yeah, and then you don't have the bird, and it's like, I have the money, but I don't have the bird, you know?
Yeah.
And you're probably going to spend that money and more. You're just trying to get something the same.
Yeah.
So that's what I believe, you know? And I always, before I make any decision or anything on the race, I have always looked at it like, what if I was a breeder? Would I like that? You know, is that okay? You know, so that's one of the reasons. There's several options. There's several auctions sites that have approached to me. One, we know if we want to do something like that, they have always been against it. You know, I know a lot of people would like to have their bird on that big name auction website, but you know, I think more people rather not.
Yeah, I'd rather get my winners back too.
Yeah, because you know how hard it's for you to get a winner.
It's pretty hard, you know.
Yeah, so that's my thing, you know. Like I said, I'm always look on how it's going to affect the race, how it's going to affect the breeder, or how it's going to help the race, or how it's going to help the breeder. That's one of my things. So this one's staying.
Yeah, this one's staying. You do.
Man, I love a bunch of Leo Hermans here, man.
Yeah, those are from Greek and from my foundation. Yeah.
John Greek connections.
Yeah, I'm trying his stuff this year, so. It's
your daddy?
Line bred, yeah.
Yeah.
The grandfather to the father of that bird is full brother to who's your daddy. Yeah.
Nice birds, man. Really, man.
Thank you.
So this is your first time trying a one race?
This is my third year, but this is my first time sending them to Texas in Cuevas. Yeah.
So it was. So where did you send the first year?
My first year, I sent to Big Andy because I bred a little late, and then I did pretty good there too. One of my birds scored people first on the 200 mile, and then the next meet was also 11th average speed at the same race. Yeah, and 50th on the final. So have siblings to that one too. And I think that Florida is kind of similar to Texas and Cali, in my opinion. The weather, the terrains are kind of similar.
How you doing Apple Cup?
Apple Cup, last year I didn't do that good. Yeah.
So that's when I'm asking. The reason why I'm asking that is because I thought that now it's a different course.
Yeah, and
but
last year
it seems like the Florida, you do well several years. Like
yeah.
You got the birds, speed birds.
Yeah. Last year I lost a few on one of the tougher race Apple Cup. So
yeah. And the thing is, when you like a race, or when I like a race, and I go there and I don't do well, and you got to do like. You have to measure, like you have to see, okay, where my birds they good. They be on a faster race, slower race, and a lot of mistakes that we make, because I do it too a lot. Say for example, you get a bird back from a race, and you know, go to the side. But I have find out that people say, for example, we're out the Pigeons, because of course it's a good one, right? Family, that's why they send it to begin with. So then some people actually do it, and that's why I'm learning. They bring it back and breed it.
Yeah.
Say for example, if on the small, so fast races they did good, but at the hard race they did a little bit, you know, bad, and they end up crossing them with something tougher. Yeah. You know. Well, if you're doing good on Florida, that means they got the speed.
Yeah.
But when you send them to Apple Cup, it's a little bit tougher. So you got the speed, you got to add a little bit more tougher birds to be able to make it, because you got the speed. That's why you do good at Florida. But when you send it and you say it gets tough, when you have a tough race and you see the your birds kind of drop a little bit, that means you have to add more toughness. Okay. Because when it's easy race, then you know you have the speed. So for example, if I was you say you win in California or doing well, Florida, but when you took it to Washington, you're saying because of the terrain, that means it's tougher. Yeah. So you want to add a little more toughness on those birds.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, these birds are. I think they're more tough birds too. My foundation, the person that bred her, told me that they're tough birds. And in her pedigree, she's a distant bird from a hairy and Iridicia stuff. So I think that's distance. So
Yeah.
they're tough, but maybe not tough enough for apple.
Well, yeah, and you know what? Another good race that I like a lot is Lucas. Crooked River.
Yeah.
I really like that because you know it's almost in the same area,
Yeah.
and he trains a lot, like a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, some of the best breeders are there. So that's my next race that I want to ascend this year because you know I sent a few years and I seemed like I was not doing well. So I was like, okay, let me kind of get together again. And this year I thought, you know what? I think I got some birds that might be able to do it, and I sent this year. Like for example, California too. Before I even started Cuevas Classic, I sent some birds, and I was, you know, the last page all the time. So I started with Cuevas Classic, and then started learning. You know, there's birds that will dominate the race or the course.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting birds from Johnny Lynn.
Lang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
got some stuff from.
Yes, I got a son from the Classic.
Oh.
I went to Joe, Mecca, and I got him from Florida. And I got him and sent him, and they didn't do too much breeding the first year. Like literally, I didn't even breed because on 2020, I think it was 21 or 22 when I didn't flew no races at all. No races. I was trying to save to build this place, so I know I was going to make a move. But last year I ended up putting them together.
Okay.
Boom. I sent two birds, the two nest mates, and they were boom, 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 boom. On the final race, you know, he had to cut the drop because there were birds coming more and they were mixing.
Yeah.
I would mind standing on the landing. So I was like 2 positions out of the first drop, but it was like right there. And I'm going stronger this year, sending more out of the same pair. And that's the reason why I bought those pigeons, because I said if I want to do a good pair, by the time that I develop the family, who knows, you know what? So I was trying to get there faster. So I very friend with everybody, or trying to be friends with everybody. So I ended up, you know, picking up the phone. I said, I need this, boom, and it works.
Yeah.
So if you do the work, you do the homework. Yeah, if you do the homework, you will pass the test faster than you're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to go there, and I'm probably gonna try the same birds in Florida.
Okay.
The same birds. Let's see how. I need to call Joe and see how he did there. I don't remember, to be honest, on the final. But you know, I like to give feedback. Like, you know, hey, what do you think? Or does your bird do well here? Or how you do? You know. And instead of me going to the races, I'd rather pick up the phone and call them. Hey, you know, when you have a friendship, that's why I always you want to have good relationship with everybody, because you never know. You can pick up the phone instead of you taking hours and trying to figure it out. Call somebody, be like, hey, you know, I have some of your birds. How you do here? Or what should I do?
Yeah, or you can just study where the birds have done good too. Yeah, that's why I do a lot.
Let's look John Lane. How many years been doing well in California, and everybody's winning with birds.
Yeah.
So that's why I went there. Like, hey, I need something.
Yeah, and kind of noticed that people who bring his birds in, they start doing good in Cali too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is, but those birds seems to be doing well for years now. You know, and everybody you see more and more now. John. You know, the Greek is doing well too there too. You know, Thomas is picking up too. So he's doing. They're figuring it out. You know, when this breed, there's a lot of breeders out there that will do anything to succeed on those races. You know, it might be taking years, but you can see them always consistent. And they're always trying to reach the top. We always do, right? We all do want to reach the top.
Yeah.
But there's people that are willing to go the extra mile to try to get there. You know, like study, try this bird, try something else, do co-breeding with all the people just trying to get better.
Yep.
And I think that's, like, for example, us that we don't have all the money in the world, co-breeding with some of your friends. I don't do co-breeding just because I have the race, you know, and there's a lot of people here, so I stay away from, for example, that you can enter or do whatever you want. a smart move is to get a good friends that they do well somewhere else, like in the same place.
Yeah.
Put them together, and now you know you're moving faster. You're growing faster.
Yeah.
Now, if you have the money, then you don't have to do that. But if you don't, you know, sharing birds. I mean, I see a lot of people they trade, exchange.
Yeah, I do that too. I did some co-breeding last year, and that's how we got the 54th Florida Derby with my friend. Yeah.
Yeah, and right now that's what I'm doing, trying to keep an eye who's consistent.
Yeah.
Who's consistent. I'm gonna go back a few years and see who's always been on the top. Probably gonna call them up and say, hey, I need some of those birds. And start, and don't get me wrong, I will still send some of my birds, but still you want to be up there if you can faster.
Yeah.
We'll see how they do. So what is this bird? This is the Greek and your foundation.
My foundation hen.
What did they have done to you? What was birds?
The Greek bird, I just got him recently, but my foundation hen, she bred all my winners these past years. So.
What's the 300 or 350?
350 for the purple card.
Yeah, a lot of the clubs are actually pushing, because usually they do 300.
Yeah, I know.
They usually do 300, but it's a smart way to do it, like push it to 350, because now you get to develop a little bit stronger bird. And if we can do it, club can do it too,
Yeah. And then the full sibling to the one that won first section A at Minnesota, that one did good at Cali too, in the fertility. They both score in the top 10 and 20% multiple times. And then the one at Cali scored 30th on the final.
No, another thing that I would recommend to people, to breeders, probably a lot of them not already know. When you send, there's a lot of people that are afraid of sending heavier, big birds.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to send those birds where I know they don't train as much, But when you have a race that train, don't be scared of sending.
Yeah.
Like, for example, my birds that I sent to Black Oaks, they're huge. They're turkeys.
Yeah. I don't think a huge bird breeding matter to me too, but a heavy bird, definitely. Like what you were saying, someone who trains them, I think they will become in form better.
And usually what I also do is, for example, before I ship the birds, so I separate them, I put them on a big cage for a week, and then put them on a big sections, and it will change completely. It will be a completely different bird, because sometimes when you grab them, when you grab them from the nest, you can say, sometimes they're big, sometimes you don't like them, but as soon as they start flying, they start eating on their own, it completely change.
Yeah.
Either it might be for good, it might be for bad, So before I even send them to the wall of races or wherever I send them, I like to keep them on a big section so they can fly and see, and then I kind of have a note. Okay, this bird's gonna go here, this bird's gonna go there. But after they've been there for a while, then I go back again. See, maybe I changed my mind. Maybe the ugly one, it might be the best one.
Yeah.
Then you start acting, see how they're smart, they're not too smart. You start seeing it. Like I mentioned at the beginning, it's how you know your family.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that.
Do you think that a young bird, when they have maybe a weaker event in the beginning, do you think they will get stronger later on? Because I think some of the birds, they might be too young.
They're developed. There's some families that develop different. There's some families that develop faster, and there's some families that develop slow.
Yeah.
They just finding what they are, and some of them probably never develop.
Yeah.
Probably never develop. That's what I would mention. If you know the family, I used to have a family when I was just flying with one of races in Mexico that always had open big, literally.
Yeah.
But I know that doesn't matter. They scored big time, but it was just what it had, and it was funny because when people would come and look at my birds, they would look like my main bear. They would never guess that was my best bear. Literally never guess. And they were like, hey, what's the birds that won? You just handle them. What do you mean? You're like, yeah. And it's the way you family.
Yeah.
And sometimes we like to kind of develop the family better, or get that say for example Guido, but it's just what you want to do, is if you really want to work the generics to get better, but if they're winning, what can you do? Just continue to breed. hit them better. But like I said, I had 4 good years with that bed. 4
Okay.
good years.
Yeah,
Every
that's
year
good.
was hitting.
Yeah.
And you can tell it was a wide open bed. It's like,
Yeah, if they do good, that's what matters the most.
what matters. That's what I'm saying. You let
even
the
the
basket.
traits, yeah, even the traits are bad, and then tail go up, they can still win. That's
And
why.
you know, a lot of the birds nowadays,
Uh-huh.
I think that I see them like not so bad, but they got stronger front.
Stronger front?
Very, very strong.
What do you mean by stronger front?
Like right here is wider and stronger.
okay.
Yeah. Because a lot of like, let me give you an example. I had a bunch of birds from one of the big. I don't want to mention their name. One of the big breeders. They gave me about 300 birds of them. When I was starting the Cuevas Classic. So the guy that was getting off the sport, he's like, "Oh, I got this bird from this person. You can have them all." Okay, so he gave me 2 Loft, put them together, and have them all. And had a bunch of friends from Mexico. They were coming, just to visit. And they went through, and they picked like the perfect pigeons. Literally, eye, wing, back, everything. And I was like, no, that's not it. Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be your best year. Send some birds out of those birds, they didn't make it to the races.
Yeah.
It's completely different bird nowadays. You know, yes, a lot of people's breeding pedigree, which is wrong. You still have to know how to balance the pairs. But here in the States, especially in one-off races, we don't see the old school birds.
Yeah.
I mean, old school like those Mexican Jensens, those John Martins, those all the old fat. You know, you don't see them.
Yeah, you know.
Maybe you see them, but with a different name. But they have been developed differently.
Yeah, or they cross far back.
Far back.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes people's like, well, why you have fast races? I said, yeah, you know, sometimes mine do have fast races, but why you keep getting faster birds? You know, races eventually gonna get faster and faster and faster.
I also believe that, and I kind of see that too. Yeah.
Even I'm like I say, they're right when you say, okay, you have a tail route, but a race, say for example, a race with hardly any wind, you're looking at 1,600 all day long.
Yeah.
Because as y'all getting better birds, faster birds, we getting better at better taking care of the birds, more new stuff to help the birds to develop the birds, have better performance. So of course,
Yeah.
you know, everybody, oh, it's not, you know, it's not that bad. It's just the that's why it's called racing. You know, I understand 19, 18. You know, it's hard.
Yeah.
People don't like that, and I hate it too. Don't get me wrong. I noticed on my other place, the one before this one, 1,900 yards. I mean, I have more birds than 30 minutes. Literally, it's like boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. You know, game over. Here it's differently. Last year I had a 1,700, I think, and man, I don't know where they go. I mean, I had 2 on the drop, and then 3, and like the first 30 minutes, I only had, I don't know, 30, 40 birds. So that actually, I realized that fast races on this location is not good. Maybe because it's wide open. We don't, like on the other place I was in the city, they have probably more landmarks. Fucking Pigeons say, oh, we're getting closer to home.
Yeah.
So now I know we cannot, you know, do fast races here.
Yeah.
Because of the same reason, it's not good for birds.
Yeah.
Because the good ones come straight, or they kind of go somewhere else, and the ones that were behind, you know.
Yeah.
And most of the time, I mean, don't get me wrong, and I don't want everybody to get this wrong, but in a fast race, usually the person behind are the ones that get home first.
Yeah.
Because the other ones are trying to race, and you're not seeing them all the time, you know. You see maybe 1 or 2 that consistently might get it, but most of the time, when you have a fast race, the ones in the back that will make it.
Yeah.
Because the other ones hunt their heart and want to be fighting from the lead. So you get like a good group of birds, and they're trying to compete. I mean, by the time they realize, who knows where they're going?
Yeah, they might even overfly or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people believe it now, a lot of people don't, but you know, I see it.
I think that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So people do believe it, don't believe it. You know, everybody has their own ideas. Which is good. It's great. But like I said, I see it here all the time.
Yeah, and like the wind could change when the bird comes, and maybe they might get pushed a little bit somewhere else.
You know, you get a little bit, the birds that fly at different altitude, you know,
Yeah.
go a little bit higher, might get a better wing or a worse one. So,
Yeah.
you know, you don't know.
Never know.
You never know. So that's one of the reasons why when I handled the Texas Center winter meeting, it used to be a one race. And I changed the format to 3 races. Because on 3 races, you have more idea which one is really your good bird.
Yeah.
A good bird can have, any bird can have a good race. And it might be that one. But having 3 races, now you know it's a better bird.
Yeah. That's the nestmate to the one you just held?
The second one?
Yep, the second
the first one?
The second one you just held. The first one I gave you is their niece, their half niece.
Gotcha. They're ready to drop what? One flight?
Yeah, some of them dropped a few flights. That one, the older one right there, probably on the third.
Third one?
Yeah. And I know you set the...
Yeah, no one did.
Yeah, that one, I think that one's a little different from the second one.
Yeah.
It's a little longer too, and maybe a little deeper, maybe.
Yeah, the other one is my pick. I like the other one better.
Which one?
The little blue bar, the little darker, the second one.
Oh, yeah.
That one, I like it better. This is their nestmate, right?
Yeah, that's me. They're all down from my foundation here.
This is a cock, right?
I don't know. I think
Yeah, the other one is a hen. Did you spray the bird something?
Yeah, I did.
Bronco?
Yeah, sprayed them before, so in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be safe.
Oh, like that smells
You know it right
familiar.
away.
Yeah, like that smells familiar.
Yeah.
And look, now they trap train. That's the first bird. Those birds that are trap training right now, those are the birds from this week. All of them. So they take turns. We have 4 groups right now. One early in the morning, the second one, and the third one. So this is your 3 pick.
Yeah.
Top 3 pick for this.
For this race, yeah.
Let's put this one back over there, and then we can go through the other ones.
Yeah.
And see what we pick. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna show you the process of the intake. You know, when we get the birds. So usually we get them on the box. So since we don't have them on the box, we're gonna use them. They're here in the cage. So what we do is we take one at a time. Before we do anything, we enter the number. That's 26021. ARPU. Blue bar. So that's the bird. If it has any type of band, we take it. And this procedure, we do it every day to every single bird.
So what's that red stuff you're using?
That's for the flies and everything outside. You know.
Okay.
Usually works with 2-3 days. Home. We use it for a while and it really works.
And you just put it on the back like that? Okay.
There's a lot of people that might use it over here, or they use it on the tail. They use it there.
Does the red go away as okay?
Yeah, with the time, as soon as you go in the first bath, it's pretty much gone.
All right.
So now, we put it back here. Grab the next one. We always double check the number because especially this year because we have covers on the birds.
Yeah.
So you can't really see the bands anymore. So if you mess up on one, good luck.
So why did you decide to put that cover this year?
Breeders always got some type of suggestions,
Okay, yeah.
And there's a guy that always been suggesting, hey, you need to do that. They do that this here, they do that there. Nobody does it on the United States.
Oh.
For me, don't make any difference,
Yeah.
It's the same for me. So I'm like, you know what? Let me. I was trying to get some tape last year, but I didn't like it. So I was looking for some covers, and then kind of works. So that's the next one.
All right.
And when we finish, which are, for example, this one is the last one. And the reason I do it this way, I don't call the breeder until I'm actually done processing that specific box.
Okay.
Because if I call you, hey, your birds are here, you're going to ask me, are they okay? Yes. I open the box, one of them's dead, or something's wrong with one.
Yeah.
I will have to call you back. Hey, they're not okay. See? So that's why it kind of takes me sometimes even the whole day for you to get the call. Because I have to make sure that the bird has been processed already and it's okay for me. So just in case you ask me, be like, yeah, it's okay. Hold the bird, process the bird, know for a fact it's okay.
So you do send a
message
to the breeders. Okay, that's good.
Bird made it.
I know some Loft race they don't do that.
Yeah,
but some of them do.
I'm not telling you I do it 100%. Because I might miss one. Because like the other day I got
bunch of breeders.
Boxes.
So.
Yeah, so you doing over and over, you might miss one. But I try to do I try to do everything. But sometimes and people call me like, hey, do you get my bird? I said, I apologize. I did. They're okay. And I'm sorry, if I say I would lie to you if I say yes. I never miss one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. But yes, that's my whole idea. I'm trying to call everybody. I call everybody, let them know, hey, your bird here. And if you ask me, I'll be like, hey, well, they're okay, because that's when you get the call.
I think that's also a good thing to do too.
Yes. A lot of people, sometimes they're calling me, and I can't tell them yes. Sometimes I don't even pick up because I'm still going through the process. Until I handle the birds, I'll let you know, that they're fine. And like I said, I do it because, that's probably what people want me to do, They want to know that the bird, all right, okay, because I don't want you to think, well, he said it was okay. And then an hour later, he called me and it was bad. So, so.
Yeah.
So now we're done with the birds. Now they're under your name. The color. I don't usually do sex. I just let it all be hands. Color, sex. Sex don't do it. So it's the name, the number, and the name of your loft, pretty much, and the intake.
All right. So once you get them and do they come and stay in this cage like this?
No.
Nope.
They don't stay. They usually have water. And they let them eat until we finish all the boxes. There are more cages over there, or we use baskets, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we're done with all the birds, the intake the whole year. I mean the whole day. What we do is we actually do the chip. We synchronize the chip to the benzene and all that. We shoot them, and we put the cover on their back. And when we're done with all of them, we put them where they belong.
Okay, so after this, where do you put them?
Okay, so section. Let me show you. We have all the sections, right? So right now, this is section 4.
Okay.
So all these birds have arrived this week. So those birds will come here. So here we're gonna have all the birds. These are the older birds. These are the one actually are already going out. And I move them here because it's just easier for me just to open and let them out.
Yeah.
And let them in, because they're gonna be the last ones to go out. So that's group number 1. This here is group number 3. This here. So now they're already on the medication. This group is 200 birds. They're in medication. They're already trap trained this morning. Come here. So after they eat and relax for a little bit, and after they're already trap trained this morning, they go back to the aviary, which is here. So we shut this door down. Let me show you. We shut this door down here. Shut that door down there, and they just go out.
Okay.
Watch the cows, the goats. And here, in some section, we have this one is team number 2. They're going to be going out next week. As soon as they go out for the 3/4 time, and they combine with group number 1.
Okay.
And that will gonna go here, and then you start sharing Avery.
So how do you decide what group to go with? What group, like in the beginning? How do you section off? Is it like per week?
Numbers.
Or numbers?
200. First 200.
Oh, first 200? Okay.
So we usually have about 240, 250 purchase. I just like to keep 200 on this section.
Okay.
I don't want to overcrowd. So I keep 200. So as I get 200 in one section, I start medicating. 200 in all section, medicate. So all the birds have to go through the same treatment.
So how long do you medicate them for?
I usually do it for 5 days. The first one is for 3 different things, and they usually do it for 5 days.
Okay.
And, you're giving your probiotics and vitamins. Right now, they have some vitamins for a week. They're going to have those specific vitamins because they were done 4 days ago. So
4 days ago?
Yeah, so they already have some for the immune system. So now we attacking them with some for the vitamins, some really good vitamins there. They usually do it for 5-6 days. And by the time that's done, they're already probably with the older one. They went to the cold crop. And then whenever, we start getting bigger teams, then we do something else. Say, for example, right now that this is ugly weather, we're trying to see, we want to do canker or give them a little bit of prevention, like 3 days of canker or respiratory. Depends how you see the birds and how you see the weather. That's how kind of we go by.
Okay.
But you don't want to get too ahead with the first group,
Yeah.
Because now they're never going to catch up. So you have to kind of know. Look at if you have to, you don't have a choice, and the birds start seeing kind of funny. Then yes, you have to do it no matter what. But if you can hold the birds and kind of wait for the other ones, then. But sometimes you just have to go and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So far. Birds being good, like I said, this weather today is kind of cold, so they're just kind of not feeling it. But it will be better weather.
Okay.
So, like I said, this one is vitamins. This one, there's a birds ate already on the medication. And group number 1, let's see what we have on group number 1. Okay, so group number 1, so it's already been through everything. Group number 1 right now, we just have amino acids, vitamins, minerals on the water, pretty much. Those about to go outside, so they have not ate yet.
Okay.
I'm just trying to have them here because the other team finished trap training, so they're about to go out next.
So each team, they eat different timings depending on when they go out? Okay.
This one here just have vitamins, electrolytes, just to help them, because this is the birds that arrived today, like for example yours, and the ones in the morning and one from yesterday. So you can see them, some of them are very beat up from the trip. That's why we keep vitamins and electrolytes on them, and they're about to get fed as well again.
So if a bird comes here, right, and it arrives here without the entry fee, what do you do with it?
We call we try to trust everybody.
Yeah.
So we process the bird, whatever. At the end of the day, they don't. I call them and they say, hey, well, before they say, some people call me and say, as soon as you get them, let me know, send you Zelle.
Okay.
So they send me Zelle, right? There's people that you probably never heard them or know them, right? So you call them and say, hey. Because some people don't even put the Loft name, so I have to be like, hey, and it's you have to call, because when you know the people, but you know which Loft name and everything. When you don't know, you make the call. Hey, birds are here, or you send them a text.
Yeah.
Hey, they tell you, hey, right away, or do it tonight. Give them 2 or 3 days, and I'll show you in a minute. So every single bird goes to a wing companion and put everything right. But I also have I have a software where I log how many birds that individual send me, how they pay, and when did I receive the bird, and how they pay me.
Oh.
They're being some funny people, man. They, you know, because think about it. We get 28 boxes one day, 20 next day. They think that we forget. They trying to split it. And not all of them, but some of them, you know, there's some funny people. Remember, people is funny sometimes. Funny. So I keep every single bird. I log in, plum, 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 plum. And like the weekends, I go back and say, hey, you have not paid me. It's been 2-3 days. You know, what's up? Okay. And you get the ones that you always, it's like a habit. I don't know why, but it's like always you kind of have to be like, hey, where's the money?
Yeah. Do you think the language barrier kind of affects it too, or? That's
the blame people always do.
Really?
But think about it.
Yeah.
On the website, you can go there and translate it.
Yeah.
If you want to do
Google
it.
Translate, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Like on the website, you can translate everything. Now, if you want to text, I mean, you know, you text.
Yeah.
You telling me I came here, I speak English, so I know the process.
Yeah.
And if you want to do it right, you're going to do it right. If you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it. So it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I use a lot of people use that as an excuse. I don't think it's an excuse.
Okay.
If you're going to succeed, you want to be somebody in life, language barrier should not be a factor.
Okay.
But it's just people, you know, if you want to blame on something, then go ahead and blame.
All right.
And here we keep the boxes for a little bit, and you know, feed and whatever. And then whenever we time, we just store them, or you know.
You reuse these boxes?
No,
you don't need new boxes for all birds?
Yes.
Okay.
The thing is, think about it. You probably, you know, for me to keep them in a good shape, I'm gonna need a lot of space. Make sure there are no rats. Make sure there are no snakes.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna be some, you know, spiders.
And you probably have a bunch.
Dust. And we get so look, this is my helper. So we got some of the, you know, so we kind of storage them. Got the big ones, large ones. We got the ones with, you know,
fancy designs,
and we got the VIP ones, as you can see over there. We got all kinds, you know. We got all kinds, you know. So they get a bunch of dust, and then you send those birds back on a dusty. It's like more work for me than what's worth, you know, getting new ones. And you know, you know, say for example, if I paid $12-15 for the box, that's how much I charge you. But you're still gonna use it. It's a brand new box, you know.
Yeah.
Me sending this back on a dusty. How long is it gonna take me for me to clean every single box?
Yeah. And
there might be one that's still a little bit dirty, and then there's gonna be a bad image from our race and from me. You know, they'll be like, hey, he sent me old box, dusty box. So I'd rather use new ones.
Okay. What's your average amount of birds that you get per week or per month?
This year definitely be a little bit slower. This year it's a little bit slower. You know, there's way too many races.
Yeah.
It's fine. You know, there's plenty of breeders for every single race. There's really not an average. But usually at the end of the month, like to the end of the intake, say for example, May, the last 2 weeks of May, maybe 3 weeks of May, since we know we're closing, that's when everybody starts sending birds.
Oh,
literally, it's like, and also people up north, you know, with the cold weather, whatever, it takes longer for them to get.
Yeah.
But there's always the last few days or last few weeks is when we get 30, 40 boxes.
Okay.
It's crazy. So we get 2 shipments. We usually get one around, depends how they feel, 9:30 or 8, and the other one around 12:30. So we get 2 shipments a day.
Okay.
Sometimes we get 10, sometimes we get 5, or you know, just vary.
All right. For once the birds are ready to start, what's the process like for pre-training?
Pre-training. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like. So the training starts, you know, at as soon as you get them, that's when everything starts. So we must show them where it's home, how they can get in, and why they should get in.
I see.
Okay, so we have different. So when the one section will start loading them up, actually go there, so they can start seeing. Maybe 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days.
After that, they're comfortable coming on themselves. They're coming on by themselves in and out. Then we bring them here.
Okay.
We bring them here, and we keep these 2 doors. We keep these 2 doors open. That one I mean, close. That one and that one, we keep them close. And and I don't know, probably a lot of people has different method, but the first days that we have the birds in here, we keep it like this, both of them.
Both of them?
Yes, and the reason is we have the water here, and we want to make sure they feel comfortable going in and out through the traps.
I see.
You know, because it's like they've been here only 5 days, so
yeah,
you know, we don't expect them to know everything. So they feel comfortable. They go in and out, come in and out. We definitely close this one, but they come in and out.
Okay, so you close this door and you let them be out here.
Yes.
All right.
So if they get a little bit thirsty, you know, they go inside. If something scare them, they start going inside. So they start learning.
So both of them will be open.
Yes.
Okay.
But they can only go here on this hallway here. I don't need them on the second.
Yeah, only in this hallway.
Yes.
So what's this thing for?
Okay, so this here is mainly for when we start real training.
Oh.
Or when they start going out or in or whatever. This helps for several different reasons. So say for example, we don't loft flying, right? I leave this open because you might have a late one. You might have one that it was probably missing. You come here.
All right.
I usually keep water and feed here all the time. And also if there's a hawk or whatever comes in, it doesn't go the way in, it stays in here. You know?
Okay, yeah.
So if it's a late bird, catch them, see if there's something wrong, notify the breeder, and that stays like that all the time.
Okay.
After we finish feeding, training, and everything, just to make sure to catch any late bird. Because you know, I don't know if it happens to you, but you got a late bird and you call a person and they don't even realize, you know, like, what's a late bird? Well, it's hard for me to catch it.
Yeah.
You know, when you have so many.
Yeah,
this
and you
way,
might not be able to find it too.
Here, if it's late, you know.
So this is during training?
All the time. As soon as
Loft
birds
flying?
are out,
Oh, okay.
as soon as we got birds out, this one stays on because you know one of them might be missing. I think they're all in or whatever. One of them missing or whatever. Something's gonna come here.
Okay.
Right. And I come here, and then you know eventually you start seeing the same bird, and then when you're like, hey, there's something wrong with this bird. So you give them a break. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, you give them a break. People call me and say, hey, my bird's doing. I said, listen, it's nothing wrong because I have not. If you don't see the bird here, it's a good sign. You know. It's a good sign because you know when you start seeing every day, then you know it's a problem. You start notifying the person. You give them a day off to the bird. You know sometimes they just need a little bit of rest. Separate them from the team, just put them on somewhere else, and you know they will bounce back. But you already notify the breeder, let them know, hey, this is what's happening, and you know I hate not telling the breeder there's something wrong with the bird and the bird's here, you know, because that's my proof. For me, if I can show you there's something wrong with the bird, or if the bird died, hey, this is a proof. What else can I do?
Yeah.
I did my job. I mean, whatever you want to believe or however you want to take it, that's on you. But I did my part.
Okay. So when you do their trap training or out here, how long do you leave them out here for? And how often a day? Only once or? Okay,
so it just depends. For example, I do it once a day, and then let them out on the 8th. So this is easier for them. But I like to leave them here 2-3 hours.
2-3 hours.
And then they come in, drink water or sit on, and then they go back on their own outside. So
so they'll start to have full access.
Yes, they have full access over there. Once here, you feel like trapping every day. Because like I cannot have them all day because I got different groups.
Yeah.
And eventually, like for example, one and two, eventually they're gonna come together. There's gonna be one group, and then 3 and 4, eventually they're gonna become another group.
Okay.
And that's how we do in 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6, and then the 1 and 2, 3 and 4 are 1, and you just start adding all of them.
Okay.
Eventually, everything's turned to one group.
So
one group.
So the first 2 groups, where they start going out before the 3rd and 4th?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so
yes.
so they will take different turns or time
Yes.
going out. Okay.
Yes.
And then once they're ready, then you combine them together.
Yes, combined.
Okay.
And you want to make sure that you leave. And here's the thing, just to make it clear, this is our first year, not first year, but first year here doing it differently because we used to do the net. I don't know if you remember last year. We keep all the birds under a net. So what I'm saying is, right now we have this net here, but only for trap training, right?
Yep.
So this, in a minute, we just put it up and birds can go out. But before, we had a net on the landing board, which means birds can go all the way out, all the way that way,
Oh, yeah.
all the way that way, and come back. But people start asking me, hey, do you think the net has some type of an effect? It's affecting the birds because we got several losses last year. Never ever happened to me like it happened last year. Like I said, we will never figure it out if it was net, if it was the location. A bad year, a lot of races had a bunch of losses, but we're never going to find out. But when people, kind of wondering the same thing, then you have to let them know, hey, let's try something different.
Yeah.
If you think this is a problem, well, let's try something different. And that's why we trying something different this year. For me, the same. But if they feel more comfortable this way, then we do it this way. And then at the end of the year, we see which process work better. We continue with it. But it's about the same thing.
I think the weather too plays a role too sometimes with the bird loss. Yeah, because each year might be different.
Exactly. Like I said, because think about it. They questioned me about the net, but I was like, you're right. You're probably right.
Yeah.
But I've been doing it forever. The net, and I have never had problems. So, the net is not going to go back from one year to another. It's just not going to the system works, now it doesn't work. It's just nature. Things happen. There was a lot of hawks here because there was no pigeons, there were no chickens, there were no houses, there were new houses. So it was a bunch of hawks. And who knows, it's a bad year. Anybody can have a bad year.
Yep.
After we went to that little bump, we had a great season. If you ask me, I don't know your opinion, but for me, probably one of the best finals for me. Never had that many birds on the drop at that speed. 400 miles, forget it. It was, and I almost had a heart attack because it was literally it was dark, man, when birds start showing up.
Yeah.
And like I said, yes, I make money off of this, but more than anything, I love pigeons. So I enjoy. I do hen scanning every week. Just for the reason, it's not for how much work, but I enjoy when people come and seem happy. That's what that's all about.
This is your business and your passion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky enough that people support me, my job and my passion, pretty much.
Yeah. Do you give them any treatments or just clean water during their trapping once they start learning to go trap and stuff?
Oh yeah. For example, right now, let me give an example here. This one here. Okay, so they do everything, but they're still there on schedule on their medication. That never change.
Okay.
Everybody goes through the same procedure, no matter what they're doing. So, like I say, the one already went to this one. They said went to another one. So every single bird has to go through the same thing. Like every bird has to drink the same water every other will drink. That's the only way you maintain the group on the same pace.
Okay.
Because you start treating this bird for that, and they never been treated the same, you will never have the birds the same pace.
Okay.
Because you might have it, but whenever you start getting all the birds together, all like say for one group, you really don't know where you at.
Yeah.
But if you start a process with every single bird, you kind of go back and say, okay, I already did this, it might be this. Because trust me, when we have the intake, for me, myself, it's probably one of the toughest times because, you're dealing with new birds, sickness and training, and it's a bunch of work. After this, it's usually, except last year, it was a completely different year. Like I said, it was probably one of my worst years. But usually the intake is the toughest period of the time. After training and everything, that's for me, I enjoy,
Yeah. When do you decide to let your birds out to fly? Like all these birds?
Like the first? Okay.
When do you decide that?
When I start seeing that they're better on trapping, and at least 3 weeks, they've been out exposed and everything. And as we have more birds out, then maybe 2 weeks. You know, because
Okay.
there's the main group, which means the first group are the ones that are going to be setting the pace.
Yeah.
Because now you got birds that know what they're doing. Just in case you turn another one and they're kind of wandering around,
Yeah.
we'll bring them.
Okay.
So at the beginning, I usually give them about 3 weeks. If I have to 4, depends how the weather is too.
Yeah.
Like for example, the rain yesterday, it's like raining or raining. Well, you seen it, high winds or whatever. You don't want to take the chance, especially when they're still pretty new on this. It's like when you already know they come in and whatever, you don't have any problem. But when they're very new to the process, you want to make sure you pick a good day, just in case they stayed out. There's no problem. Okay.
Okay.
But it just depends if it's the first group or if it's the middle group or the last group. You know.
Okay. Once they start flying around good and stuff, right? When do you decide to start road training them?
Okay, so we don't. Okay, so at the beginning, we never push the birds, even if they're out, whatever. We always just let them be kids because they're little. So I let them be kids, play on the ground, fly up, fly down, and then when summer gets very, very into it, then that's when I stop them to pull flight,
Oh, okay.
and we lock them down. And 45 days, 60 days, depends how they develop the flight. They go walk out.
Okay.
They go walk out again, and usually keep them at least a month flying around.
A month.
They will tell you right away. You see them, they're just disappearing, going, and they give them short tosses. They're coming, and then short tosses. Last year, I had to start all over because I was like, they're not ready. You know, a lot of people ask me when is going to be the first race. Well, I don't have a schedule because birds work differently.
Yeah.
You know, I will start when they're ready. You know, because when you have a like for example a date, what if they're not ready?
Yeah.
He's going to go and lose them. So that's why I always tell people my race starts when I start the first one. I know they're ready. We continue every week. But I start doing like short tosses, 3 miles. And more than anything, just for them to be comfortable with the trail. And you start seeing after those first tosses, they like start losing fear and they start going miles and miles away. I get on top of the loft and I can see them way, way out there, pushing 5 miles. And I say, go. When I start, never stop. As soon as I start, I never stop.
Okay. When you jump your miles, do you if they don't come good, do you take them back a little bit?
I usually do too.
Okay.
No matter if they do good or bad, I usually do too.
Okay.
And if I see even the second one they struggle, I go to the third one. You know.
Third one.
You can
Okay.
see,
Yeah.
you can see. That's why I love to take them myself because I know what they need. Like, okay, they need more, they need less.
Yeah.
But I usually do two. For some reason, I see they struggle. I go a third one. You know, even if it's a fourth one, I have to go. No, I'm not in a rush.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a.
You're just going until they're ready. Okay.
Still see them more comfortable, coming. So that's how we move. You know.
That's good.
We usually we have this same process since since we started was the same. Now we have more knowledge, but usually we keep the same training, like more. We're always on the road. So if we get good weather, we're on the road. I don't really like to low fly, especially if we already train flying like the season.
Yeah.
I want to be on the road instead of being on the low.
Yeah. Do you give them anything during this time when you start road training them?
Oh yeah, they're always on something. Literally,
Yeah.
always on something.
Always on something.
Always on something. I feel like when I give them water, they just turn around and they don't like it because you know they always amino acids, vitamins, all kinds of stuff. I'm a big believer, you know, help them bounce back. Bird will give us so much only. After that, it's us. You know, if you don't bounce them back, if you don't help them with a good feed, good stuff and supplements, you know, all kinds of stuff. And now we're lucky that we have all these companies that, they're tested and they're telling you that this help with the performance of the birds. If you don't do that, you might have a few good weeks, but after that, you know, especially you're road training a lot. If you road train a lot and you fly and have tough races and you don't help the bird's gonna give up on you.
Okay. So what's the process of you when you start using those stuff? Like, do you is there an order?
Yes, there we have. I have say for example, I have in kind of it's a chart that I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, depends on training.
Yeah.
On training, on racing. Say for example, always my target is to fly Sundays. So bat on Saturday, give them a bath, feed or whatever, and Sunday, and it starts again on Monday.
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now, if I'm in Thursday and I see Sunday, we're not going to be able to fly, I'm notified Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
You know? I'm notified because I know I'm not going to be able to fly Sunday. And I kind of modify those dates. But if not, same thing, week after week, week after week.
Okay. What do you give them during those weeks? Like, I know, so from return, you probably give them like electrolytes or something
Yeah, we
like
do
that?
electrolytes. There's a bunch of stuff. When it's racing season, I do a lot of more like human stuff. I know it's a little bit more pricey. It has worked for me. You know, I always look for something better. And it looks like right now it's a bunch of like birds and animal stuff. But when it comes racing, I'm a big believer on human stuff.
Human stuff?
Yes.
Do you use it in your
Oh, we use a lot of different powders.
different powders?
Different powders.
Oh, okay.
Like we use Virgis, so all the powders that I use from Mexico, I use on the feed. I only use powders and like Virgis and other stuff on the feed. But the main thing is everything actually goes in the water.
Okay.
I'm a big believer on the water. You know, a lot of people medicates on the feed.
Yeah.
Everything goes on. Everything that has to do with medication goes in my water.
Okay. Once the race start, are all the birds done molting?
Yes.
Okay.
Or are trying. I mean, there's people that send us really young birds at the beginning, at the end. That's hard. But my job is to try to have every single bird molted. Yes, that's pretty much our job. So yes, that's what we're shooting for.
All right.
We don't have 100%, but if we can get like 95%, that's a good idea, you know.
Okay.
And mainly for the final two, but the main thing is have everything on the same pace, because that's, you know, that everybody has an equal chance.
Yeah, have everything ready before race.
Yes,
or
before
on race day. Yeah.
Race day. And that's why I actually love when people come and see the birds.
Yeah.
So they can see, hey, is it a really good bird or is it a really bad bird? You know, you can see it yourself.
Do you run any system with your birds, like dark, light, or just natural? Just natural. Okay.
Because we fly so late, then we don't really have to do light or dark.
So you don't turn lights on during race day, like at night and stuff like that. Okay.
Only when I'm here, but it's not like I have them on schedule.
Yeah, because I know in club, once you start racing, you turn on lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's because you probably race a little bit. When did you start?
Usually we start in August for a club. Yeah.
I start November.
Yeah.
So we still got a few more months. So yes, that's why I don't do it, because we start a little late.
All right. So once race start, right? Do you change the feed, or do you just keep them
every day? It's a different feed.
Oh, every day is different feed.
Yes, depends on what you want them to do.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Especially when you start seeing what type of race. If it's going to be a tough race or easy race, you have to change it. Yes.
So during this loft flying, they'll just get the same thing, right?
About the first 2 days, they might get the same thing. You know, depending how was the race before, and how is the next one look.
So, I'm talking about when there's just loft flying.
Oh, here,
no race yet.
Yes.
Okay, so
but I usually like to start, even when I'm road training, I try to have them already on the system, so they can get used to it.
Yeah.
Because your system or the birds are not going to be used to it from one day to another. You kind of have to show them, okay, now is this means this. Like you got to teach them. Whenever it's a bad day, that means next day is going to be a race. So you kind of learn for them to learn the process. Now, here's another thing. But now I'm flying the birds, I want to make sure they are ready to compete against anybody. An example, was it last year? Last year we flew from West. No, the year before. When I last year I flew from my other place. I was flying with the combine here.
Okay.
Usually my birds were about 200 yards faster.
Oh.
And you know, they're always wondering why pigeon club are better pigeon than one-off birds. For me, I'm trying to have my birds ready to compete against anybody, either club or one-off race.
All right.
It's not like, oh, they just have to come home. I don't want my birds just to come home. I want them to race home. So, like I said, we flew about 3-4 races the same day, almost the same location, or even I was 50 miles, you know, like 350 to 300. My birds had a better speed.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe because they're all coming at the same place, but still, you know, that's a lot of answers. That give me a lot of answers that I was doing the right thing, you know, because I was being able to fly from the same direction the same day, and I was getting a little bit faster speeds.
Okay, so you keep them at the same feed until they start road training. and then you change it up a little bit, and
Yes.
then as they get to the race, then you feed them depending on how the weather or
Yes, how the weather,
Okay.
how the race, and what are you trying to do?
Okay.
For example, even before they go out for the second times after molting, you have to make sure they're not too heavy.
Yeah.
So if they're too heavy, then the hawk's gonna be able to catch them. They start flying, so they're trying to catch up in condition, but are heavy. So you make sure you're trying to keep them light. And then you see the bird will tell you what they need.
okay,
It's not gonna, it's always you learn how to read the bird will tell you what they need.
yeah. Because I'm not sure if other one-off race, if they just feed the same thing throughout the whole season, but if you do something like this, then you're putting a lot of work into this.
Yeah, and like I said, it's always trying to have the best feed, and always trying to like know the birds, know your location, know your like. For example, the West, I flew from the club when I was club racing last year was my first year. I learned a lot. I will change the little things to make it better, and that's how everything started. You know, one year was first year for the breeders, flying that, and for me as well. And that's why I like it, just because it gives you more challenging for the birds, it's more challenging, and I just gonna make it more enjoy for me to enjoy more.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now I have a little bit of taste what it takes to fly at that course. I really like it.
Yeah. Can you show us the process of when you start shipping the birds for road training or race?
Yeah. So we use this this year. This is our, and even before we start loading them on the trailer, we let them out through here to Loft line.
To Loft line? Oh,
So they can get used
so
to
they
it.
get used to going out
Yeah,
this
going
way.
out this way. Exactly.
Okay.
And then
So how many times would you teach them to go out here? Just once in a while you do it, or
no. Once they learn it, you want to do it every day.
every day?
Yeah.
So they all go out
They
through
go
this.
out. Mhm.
So they don't go out through the front. Oh.
They as soon as they figure it out this way, it's just open and they start just going.
So they never get out from the front.
They do at the
Okay.
beginning.
Okay, in
But
the beginning.
After a while, they start learning.
They start learning
Like
from
for
this.
example, you see, there's a bunch of drop-ins because
Yeah.
birds there, and that's what you want. You want them to feel safe, familiar with this, and it's not just like no. That's why I took this door down.
Yeah.
And I put it back up, but I usually keep it down. Out so they can feel familiar and comfortable. So I got some pulleys on the top. That means for every level they go up and down. And the process is, let me show you the process. Say for example, it's 5 o'clock. I'm already too low. So what I do is, see, now the birds can't really go nowhere.
Yeah.
Because, see, there's gonna be birds here too, right? But I keep this closed. I walk in here and pull all the birds out. And they already kind of know, because I already have my trailer, that's set, the light, and they start going in. Sure. They go in, right? Sure. And then, all the birds are in, we close this section. Now we go with this section. Same procedure.
Okay.
You get them out, they go in. 2 sections per level, pretty much is
All
what
right.
it takes.
2 sections per
Now,
level.
yeah, so now that I'm done here, I'll come here, I lower my ramp, and go and close the trailer first door. Slide it closed, and set my ramp to the second level.
Okay.
So now, what I do now, there's no birds there. Close this one, for example. And then we'll continue with this section.
Okay.
Same thing. Boom, boom. Done with this one. Then with this one. And on and on and on until we're done.
And you'll keep these closed per section, right?
When I'm loading, yes. But
for
for the
these-
year, they're open.
Okay, yeah.
So when I get here in the mornings, I close all of them.
Okay, so
And
you can
start.
ship them one section
One
at a
section
time?
at a time. So they usually I do two sections at a time,
Yeah.
per level.
Okay. So for the purchase, do you think the perch matter in racing pigeons?
Like which perch they like better?
Yeah, like box perch, V-perch, the T-perches. Do you think it matters?
Yeah, I guess. I have different ones. I have different ones.
Uh-huh.
And it's not my. It's like, for example, a lot of people say, well, they're always fighting. If you don't have like a box,
Yeah.
look at those birds. Are they
Yeah.
fighting?
No, they're not fighting.
I think it's more about the environment they're in. You keep them in, like how comfortable they feel. Then the perch, yeah, the perch might be, might be even fancier, might be bigger. But if the pigeon is not comfortable and they're not in a good environment, don't matter.
Okay.
I mean, it's like, for example, does your bed better? I mean, your bed makes a difference. Yes, it does make a difference. Maybe some of them are fancier and better. But guess what? If you're not happy at home, no matter what bed you sleep in, right?
Yeah.
That's how I figure it out.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
So, this one's seem like they like it. I don't like to keep them too close, and I don't like to overcrowd each section. That's another main thing. Because what's the point of you having a fancy perch if you have so many birds?
Yeah.
They will not.
Can we see some of your products and what you use?
Some of my products, like vitamins and stuff. Like which kind of products?
Just the stuff you use for your birds, for the birds here.
Turn this light off.
Okay. Can we also see your feed and grit?
Yeah.
And your vitamins and stuff? And any treatments that you want to share?
That's the grit that we actually use.
Okay. What's it called? Multi-mineral mix.
And you know what? Remember that all-in-one that Versalaga used to make? The very first one. It was very, very good. And then they changed the formula. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh.
This one is very similar to the first one, and man, birds love it.
Yeah, this one looks a little more pink, not as red. I see a lot of grits are more red than this. But it looks nice. Is there pallets in there too? For those pallets? I don't know if they're actual pallets or they're.
It looks like they are. Look.
Yeah. Because I'm not sure if they are.
You know which way to find out? Eat it. What?
Really?
It is pellets.
Okay. Yeah, because I know maybe they might put like.
So you don't eat it?
No.
Why not?
Because
you should eat whatever your pigeon can eat, man. Come on.
I'll eat one with you.
It is a pellet.
It's kind of like cereal.
See, it's not that bad, man. Come on. If your pigeon eating it, you can eat it too, man. All right. So the feed. Let me find out. I'll show you the feed over there. Okay, this is some of the stuff that I use on the feed.
Can you get this product from Mexico?
Yes.
Correct? Yeah.
We also sell it here for my friend there that he makes it. But man, I don't know. You can smell it.
Oh, this smells good.
So this right here is for the helps with your molting.
Okay.
The quality on the
That
feathers.
smells like some seasoning I'll be putting on meat.
So this right here, man, we've been using it for years already, and man, I really love it. The smell of it, and you can see right away the way the birds react to it. The feather quality.
So that's just like a natural.
Yes, and then that's the main thing.
Yeah.
It's organic, 100% organic. So you can use them at any time. I use it for breeding, and I use it for racing, and I can use it pretty much every day when I'm racing. Now.
So what do you use this for? What is it? What's the purpose of this?
That helps, like the pigeon, for example. Like I said, like what's the number one thing that birds have to have? Very nice quality
Feather, yeah.
Feather. That's one of the things for the quality of the feather. It has a lot of different products in it that helps. I'll give you the information on it. Like I said, it's all different things. Now, this one too, I mean, it's the same bottle, but it's not the same thing. I have this, this one is
purple stuff. Yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah, this right here helps the like after medication. It helps the bird to kind of get it back up, build the the gut.
So is it like probiotic?
Probiotic,
Okay.
yes. It has vitamins and electrolytes. Let me mix a little bit so you can see.
All right.
You can see what it looks.
Yeah, I see you use this purple product a lot.
A lot, at least twice a day. I mean, twice a week. In 3 days. I mean, 3 days after any medication. You can see on the droppings, especially when they eat here. I give them a lot of that because you know the stress they go through it on the way here on the box and everything.
Yeah.
And if you notice, the droppings are all really messed up. That means they went through a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And I usually give them
And
this.
then they jump right back up, huh? Nice.
So that's my purple supplement.
Nice.
I do that, and I do Primalac too. I kind of switch it around so you don't. I don't like. I have a lot of the different, a lot different of the same thing. Like for example, probiotics. I got several ones. I don't like to keep them one, but this is like my go-to. Sometimes you have to have some stuff that you can trust. And you're gonna use it. It's gonna work. This is it. Primalac. I use Primalac too. So that on the water, that on the feet, and we also use. I'll show you. I don't have the oil that goes with that stuff there, and everything else just pretty much like vitamins, electrolytes, vitamin 12. Like I said, it just depends what you're trying to achieve.
Okay.
More than anything, amino acids, minerals, either minerals powder, but I like more liquid.
So do you believe that using one same product all the time makes the bird immune to it?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll keep.
So that's why you change the probiotic and stuff.
Yes, because after a while they're like it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. All right. That's good to know that you change it and stuff.
Yeah, we change it. That's why we always have to keep it. And like I said, you always have to see which will give a better reaction because sometimes things can happen and you have to know what to use.
Yeah.
You know you have several different things, but you have to know which one will be your main one, which one to go to, which one did you go to.
Okay. Can we see some of your feed later or right now?
Let's see what we have here. Yeah, let's go to the shop because here I only got one type.
All right.
Let's go to the shop.
Okay, Tony, can you explain us what your feeds are?
So we have different feeds. We have our candy mix here. This is some of our candy mix that we have. We bring this from California, or our feed. We got about 6 different mixes. And we use, depending, like I mentioned in the video before, just depends, what we want from the birds or what we're trying to do with the bird. That's why we have different type of mixes.
So when would you use each of these?
It's usually like you want like more fat, if you want them more
fat.
Yeah.
Okay. So which one is for racing once you start?
The
main one.
We usually, I personally mix some of them. Like for example, I can mix these two. Because this one has bigger corn.
Yeah.
It has different stuff than this one. This one has more soft flour, more smaller grain. This one here, it has more corn. Smaller corn than the other one, popcorn. The other one's the whole corn.
Okay.
And we also add the candy mix in it too. Like I say, it just depends.
So you just alternate between these?
Yeah, alternate them and mix it, yes.
You need during that time? Okay.
Yes, because it might be a fast race, it might be easy race. and they might need, you know, more fat.
Yeah.
It just depends, you know. Like I said, the bird will tell you usually what they need. And plus, we throw them the oils to help them. The oil, the powders, Brugees. We use more different Brugees as well too. Garlic on the water as well to make sure because every time we get the birds back, we go through like 2 or 3 days of some type of medication. So after the medication, we make sure we give them something for the some probiotics after that to make sure they bounce back and everything as well.
So how often do you use the oil? Is it on the feed all the time?
Whenever I'm using that, so usually on racing it's almost every day.
Oh, racing every day? Okay.
Except the day of basking.
Okay.
Basking, no.
So the day of basketing, do you give them grit too?
I give them what?
Grit? Day of basketing? No? Okay.
Then I just give them a bath, water, feed, clean feed. That's it.
Okay.
Here's our facilities where we have the shipping nights. We usually bring the trailer in here. We set up a table and we hand scan every bird in here to make sure that people have a place to be. There's not too cold outside because usually it's very cold. By the time we're racing, we have bathrooms for the ladies and for the men to make sure they're comfortable and okay here whenever they come. And like I said, this last year was our first year, so we're trying to finish and all the things. A full kitchen there, a bar. So it's here in process, but it's coming along. As you can see here, you can see if you don't want to be outside, you can watch everything from here.
Very big windows.
Yeah, you can watch. You can see any direction from these windows. If it's too cold outside, you can stay in here. Or we have the porch here in the front, and you can actually sit and watch too.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the view, you know.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what it looks like from here.
Okay, so I want to ask you some questions about starting a one-off race. So, number one, how do you get a one-off race started?
Okay, so how do you start a one-off race?
When you first started, how did you learn about it and start a
well, the
one-off
thing
race?
is, like you first of all, you have to love birds, right? You more than anything, you have to be for the right reasons. Yes, we do make money when everything's said and done, right? When everything you have invest on land, loft, trailers, and everything. I mean, it's not easy. I can tell you that. But the way, I'm gonna give you an example. The way I started, I didn't start it like this. I started small. Like I believe I started with like 304 birds, if I'm not mistaken, my first year, and I worked my way up. You know, a lot of people want to start big when they have never experienced or they have never been exposed to that many birds. You know, and it's kind of, you're gonna have one chance with the breeders, pretty much what I'm trying to say. So make sure that when you actually start one-off race, you start with birds that you can comfortable feel that you can handle. That doesn't mean that you have a lot of birds means a good thing. It's just headaches. Headaches would mean you have to deal with more people, more sickness, more birds, and more employees if you have employees.
Yeah,
because only you can do so much. You know, I would recommend them to, you know, start small and willing to put the effort, put the work, and trying to build it up. When you start small, the only way you can go is go up. When you start too big, guess what? You can only go down.
Yeah.
So I recommend everybody to start small, with your feet wet, start learning, and, you know, see if it's something that you really like, you know, because you're going to have to be knocking a lot of doors. I did. Like I said, right now there's so many races out there, and it's probably easier for them to get more birds because it's more exposed. But I was probably the first one, one of the first one. Well, I was the first one to do the hand scan video and everything. Now most of them are doing it, and they should do it because, you know, that's what the breeders like. So it's not about just having a one-off race, but for me, it's always been like trying to have not the best one or be like the best one or trying to beat everyone, but I'm trying to be the best of me.
Yeah.
You know, there can be so many races, but always trying to be the best of you. Okay. Because that people sees that, you know, you might not think, but if you don't put the work, they will see it. So always trying to do your best, and make sure you are in for the right reasons, right?
Okay.
Like I have always said, my family depends on the income of the race. So I always wake up making sure that I do the right thing, because if it's not race, then I'm gonna have to look for something else. Because you get a lot of people that say, well, I don't do it for the money. So why even do it? You know? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's my always question. That's one thing that always kills me, that says, well, I don't do it for the money. Well, why are you even doing it for? You know?
Yeah.
But we all have different opinions.
So if someone wants to start, do they contact Benzing, Wind Companion, or?
It depends what you want to start.
Oh, really?
Everything is like, it's another journey, like the journey you have in life. Where you want to start and where you want to go.
Is there a difference between those two?
Yes, you can run one, or you can run the other one, or you can do like me, do both.
Both, yeah, I know you do both.
Yes, you can start whichever one. Just remember, it's gonna cost.
Is there a difference between both?
Oh, you pay on both, and you pay good amount on both. And one of them charge you more if you use both.
Oh.
So there's money involved for everything.
So both of them are just a way for people to see their birds, right?
The birds, yes.
Okay.
The birds. Here in the United States, people are more used to Wing Companion, which is okay. But it seems like Benzing has a faster way to upload results. And like for example, in the big races, it seems like Wing Companion freezes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that.
I noticed Florida freeze for a while when she started getting a lot of birds in the beginning. Yeah.
So that's the difference. And like I said, it just depends if you want to deal with one first, we'll deal one. But trust me, everybody comes some. So I'm not saying everybody, but most of people think that, oh, they're making a lot of money. It's not like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, you have to be for the right reasons, because at the beginning you're just gonna have to be putting money in, knowing the right people, and it's not so bad. It's not so much about you getting the birds. It's about knowing what to do with the birds. You know, you can have all the birds the first year. I mean, there's so many races that get a bunch of birds the first year, and their job they don't do good, don't do what it's supposed to, and it just go down.
Yeah, you gotta give a good service.
It's a good service, and it's hard and it's not their fault, but they always have, oh, I want to be like this race, or I want to be that race. Yeah, but then you see when they start, how they start, and everything they went through to be there. There's people that want to skip steps and want to be up there already. It takes time, because even if you get number-wise up, you still have to deal with all our problems that we deal when we had 200 or 400 or 500. And with the time we start learning, you start in way high.
Yeah.
And it's a whole different ball game there. But hey, good luck for everybody who's doing it, and it hopes it works for you. I think one thing that I can say, the best thing I ever did is start small.
Okay.
And even if I'm growing, and I'm growing small, and small steps, more steps. Because remember, it's just not a sprint, it's a marathon. So you have to make sure you last. It's not just a quick one, you know?
Yeah, you basically answered most of my questions I was gonna ask.
Really?
Yeah. What kind of experience do you think someone should have or know when they start a Loft race? What should they face before they start?
Look, I'll tell you one thing that helped me a lot was that I was a banker for one of the big banks.
Okay.
Yes, I was a banker, and I had a lot of experience with customer service. That's where everything starts.
Yeah.
If you don't have good customer service, forget it. It's gone.
Okay.
And not just having it, but know how to deal with people.
Yep.
You will deal with so many different people that you're gonna go crazy. I think that's the hardest part on this type of business.
I'm not gonna say anyone's name on Loft race, but there is some Loft race that don't do as good as in a customer service. Like
it's hard. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I think that helped me, and more than anything, you have to be humble.
Yeah.
No matter if you think you're Superman or whoever, you have to be humble, because you might be one year, you might be the best one, but guess what? The next year starts all over again.
Yeah.
And the same people that you probably did wrong, didn't call them back, or say something bad that year, you're gonna wish you have that person next year.
Yeah.
So every year, and everybody knows everybody here. That's the thing. We always trying to be friends with everybody, but also there's a line. You might be friendly or whatever, but work. Your job is your job. You have to be professional, but eventually, breeders will push you to see what, trying to, like I said, I can be friend with everybody, but sometimes people, trying to get you, they don't want to get to know my bad side. That's the thing, because I'm very short-leash when it comes down to that.
Oh, okay.
But I was trying to, be nice and body, I always like to deal, trying to understand them. But when enough is enough, you have to be prepared to be that one person.
Yeah, I think you're a very welcoming person, and this place is very nice too. You the things you do here isn't just for you; it's for the people that's gonna come here too. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I always tell people, when one people that trying to start a race call me and said, listen, don't do what I'm doing, don't build what I'm building, don't ask me what you're asking me, do you.
Yeah.
What's your dreams? Don't build mine.
Yeah. Plus, you guys might be in different levels.
Different.
It can't be like you.
And not even different levels. I never say I'm a high level than any other. I'm saying always say, build your dreams.
Okay.
What if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
Now you're stuck with something you didn't want to begin with.
Yeah.
If you building your dreams, you're living your life. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, guess what? You still build what you want.
You just keep doing it because you really want it.
You want it. This was, me and my wife always wanted to live close next to her mom and whatever. It was always a dream, So we fought for it, and now, we started the race long time ago, and everything kind of is coming together because we had a target. We want to do this.
Yeah.
We work that way. But when you don't have a target, where are you really going?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that you invested all the other money that you made back into this property to make it better too.
Make it better, so people can see. You it's not like I invested and I don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
No, you have to do things like trailers, like new clocking. There's always money involved. Always money involved. That people see. Oh, you got this many birds. That means you make that much money. It's not like that. Now we got. Now I have employee that I had to pay, feed. Medication, vaccinations, chips, how much we pay on clocking stuff, man. That's telling you that's not cheap. So I'm glad that everybody gave me opportunity for me to live this dream. I can call it dream because that's pretty much my dream, what I'm doing. But it's not easy. It's not easy. And if you don't do it the right way and have the right mind, it won't last.
Yeah, and if you don't love it, like really, then
there's going to be times where there's going to be sweat and tears.
Yeah.
And if you're not in for the right reason, it will make you quit. It will make you quit. There's going to be some times where it's going to be very challenging. People's going to be challenge you, especially in social media. It's easy for that people used to go there and start typing things that I never realized or don't know. It gets challenging.
Okay. So what are some things that someone who might be starting, what are some things that they might need to start your Loft race? Some things that are very important to have to start.
Have
like a clock.
You have to have the basics. Pretty much. If you flying on a club level, but it's pretty much the same. Just way bigger.
Okay.
Like way bigger. You need a bigger loft, bigger like same clocking, more basket, a trailer, and a lot of ideas.
Okay.
And willing to learn from everybody, because everybody has an ideas. That doesn't mean you have to do everybody's ideas, but start gathering all your ideas because that will help you dream get bigger and get it faster.
What are some challenges that you face running a Loft race?
Challenge, I think our main challenge, usually the people, they all people wants different things, and you have to make sure you kind of balance everything to keep everybody happy. For example, activation. There's people that pay as soon as the bird get here after activation, boom, you got the people, and then you got the people you have to be chasing, and then you waiting, and then the weather, and then you got these people, hey, hurry up, get the race, and then you people don't pay, and the weather don't help. You have to learn how to balance all that. I think that's the main challenge we have. I'm pretty sure everybody feels the same way, and they're right. We want to make sure we put the race right away. But sometimes you have to understand, there's so many people and they're not all on the same money level wise.
Yeah.
So they weigh a little bit longer. And the weather too,
Yeah.
Well, this race did it within a week. Congratulations, glad. Trust me, I want to finish my race as fast as I can too, but I had to do it right.
Yep. Because you gotta make sure your birds are ready. You gotta make sure the weathers are good.
And the money's in.
Yep.
So,
what do you enjoy about running a one-off race?
what do I enjoy? I enjoy the
Obviously, you enjoy the whole thing.
the whole thing, but I love the racing.
Yeah.
It's hard on race day because you want the birds.
Yeah.
But after it's done, sitting now out here and just watching like what happened is like, oh, that's amazing. That's a feeling. All the work that you put in the whole year is like payoff. Be able to enjoy, especially myself. My daughters, especially the oldest one, she loves pigeons. So watching her going training with me when she can, getting out, loading the birds. It's like, what else can you ask for? That's what I enjoy. The time that I have with my kids, working and then enjoying and raising my kids right. I think that's what I enjoy the most. And that's why I'm so grateful with the people that supports me every year. And that's why they're always going to get 100% of me, because that's the way I get to spend the time with my kids.
Yeah. What's your goal in running your one-off race? Any goals for the future or goals that you would like to reach one day?
Every year I have a different goal.
Uh-huh.
And my goal every year is the same. Be a better person of me. Like, beat myself every year.
Yeah, be a better person.
Be a better person, which means if I activate 1,100 last year, I want to activate 12.
Yeah.
And then 13 and 14. I'm not here to compete or I want to activate more than whichever other race. No, that's not my dream. That's not me. And I hope nobody mess with me that I put that on my head.
Yeah.
Because trust me, I can do it. I can be very ugly, but it's not me. If I can beat myself every year and be better, that's my goal. You're moving forward.
Improving.
That means you're doing the right way and you're actually heading the right direction.
Okay. Any advice for someone looking to start your one-off race?
Make sure you're in for the right reasons.
Okay. Right reason. Do you have any future plans?
Future plans?
Future plans for your race, for this place?
Yes. Like I mentioned to you, I always want to grow it. Yes. Do I want to grow it bigger? Yes. But like I mentioned before, slowly.
So one day you might want to get double the size you have now?
Yeah. Why not? I mean, the loft can handle quite around about 3,000 birds.
Yeah, because I know you guys have a limit right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I just want to keep it small and like I said, take it one step at a time for me to learn more as you go.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to say, you put over there so many millions. I mean, people will come. But like I mentioned to you before, when you get the birds, what you gonna do with that?
Yeah.
Now you're gonna have to deal with more employees, more headaches. Now you're not only gonna be dealing with breeders, but you're gonna be dealing with birds, breeding, and employees. Is it help? Yes, but it's more stress for myself.
Yeah.
And right now, my family, my babies are young, so I'm trying to enjoy them. Maybe when they grow up and they go out to college, then I start thinking of something bigger. But right now, I want to make sure I enjoy my race and enjoy my family.
Yeah.
Because a person that runs a very good race gave me that advice. He said, Tony, the way you're doing it with your kids is the right thing to do. We wish we would have done it that way, because they focus so much on the race that they know it's not that they forget about the kids, but it's always about the race, and they probably miss a lot of games, miss a lot of their first time this, first time that. And that's the thing, I don't want to do it. I'm very attached to my family and want to make sure we do it right, because you can make a lot of money, you can do a lot of things and any job, make a lot of money, but when you make that much money, it's not enough to buy your time back and have it with your kids again, because they're gone.
Yep.
And the only thing they're gonna remember is, was my dad there? Was my was he there for me? Was he there for me? No matter how much money you got.
Yeah, you actually understand how kids are.
Yeah.
I also think that too. What you're saying, give your time to your kids more and stuff like that?
There's time for everything. That's
Yeah.
when you have to balance, you know.
Yeah.
When I'm with my race, I'm giving my 100% on my race. When I'm with my family, I'm trying to give 100% for my family. And the good thing about it is my family is very understanding of my race, and they support me. That's the main thing. Another advice: don't try to do this on your own. Make sure your family is behind it.
Okay.
Because if it's not, your wife or whatever, it's just gonna make it worse.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna be fighting for this, fighting for that, and that's when you have to have your family support at 100.
That's very true. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Tony, for showing
Thanks
us.
for coming. And if you ever want to come, just let me know, and we can set up a time for us to have you here.
All right. Thank you.